All right, it being on or about 6:30, I call the December 15, 2025 meeting of the Easton Conservation Commission to order. This meeting is being conducted remotely over Zoom. Attendance by board and commission members will be remote, and remote attendance shall count towards a quorum. The meeting may be broadcast live and will be recorded by ECAT. Let's begin by establishing quorum with a roll call vote. Carol, present.
Grossman, present.
Goodman, present.
Spadia, present.
Vecchio, present.
All right, thank you, everyone. Our first order of business is a general public comment section. If you're here for general public comment, please raise your hand. Again, this is a 2-minute max opportunity for members of the public to bring issues not related to specific projects on the agenda to our attention. If you're here for that, please use the Zoom function at the bottom of the screen to raise your hand and we'll promote you.
I don't see anyone.
All right, seeing no takers, we'll move to our next business, which is hearings and possible deliberations. Up first is 79 Columbus Ave, which is a request for determination of applicability to install benches and wood chips at Clifford Grant Trails.
Hold on, I just lost. Colin.
Yeah, I feel like I saw Colin.
He was on here. I was about to promote him and then. Maybe he got bumped off and we'll just wait a moment and see if he comes back in.
If not, we'll put him on second call. All right, seeing how he hasn't returned yet, if Colin re-enters the meeting, someone could let me know. We'll call this item again. But let's move on to our next order of business, which is 106 Chestnut Street, which is a request for determination of applicability to construct an addition.
And we're promoting Jennifer now.
Hello, my video, sorry.
We can hear you and we can see you. Welcome.
Hello.
Could you please just introduce yourself for the record?
Oh, sorry.
Take us through your proposal.
Sure. Jennifer D'Ambrosio at 106 Chestnut Street. Applying for the request for determination, the RDA, to construct an addition on my home.
Jennifer, do you have a set of plans you can show us?
Yeah, give me just 1 second here.
Take your time.
I also do have my contractor on, if need be, on the line, Mike Gadlis. You should see him on there as well.
Just want to make sure the right one pops up. Yeah, here we go. Okay, can you see the map?
It's loading and it's up.
Okay.
Would you be able to just zoom in a little bit for me, Jen?
Oops, that's not mine. Say when.
Right there is good.
Okay. So Jennifer, if you'd like to just explain the addition, please.
As far as, okay, I guess, so it's the side addition there, the, sorry, I'm not as familiar because obviously the surveyor engineer put this in, 26 by 14 feet, for a master suite. What other information do you want me to provide?
So it looks like, is this within the 50-foot buffer or is everything outside the 50?
Within,
Okay. And it's on existing lawn?
correct. Yes, so the RDA was appropriate for this versus a notice of intent.
That makes sense. And erosion control looks like that's erosion control, not a retaining wall.
Correct.
All right. Jen, did you have any staff comment here?
I didn't.
Any members of the commission have questions or comments for the applicant?
I'm just curious about the foundation of this. Is this going to be like a basement with or is it just like an existing kind of like a porch? What sort of addition is this going to be?
It will not be a basement.
So it'll be like a level with like the first level of the home.
Correct.
Okay. I'm assuming just like a concrete wall around. So like basically you're not going to be digging down too much. Do
Correct.
you have any? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Phil. Any other members of the commission have questions or comments for the applicant?
Nope.
Any public comment here for 106 Chestnut Street?
Nope.
Seeing none, I assume you'd like to close?
Yes.
Motion to close the public hearing for 106 Chestnut Street.
Crossman second.
Oh.
Carol motion, Crossman second, roll call vote, Carol I.
Crossman, aye.
Goodman, aye.
Spady, aye.
Vecchio, aye.
Motion to issue a determination of applicability for 106 Chestnut Street, noting +5 and -3 under the Wetland Protection Act and -3 under the bylaw.
Vecchio, second.
Carol motion, Vecchio second, roll call vote, Carol I.
Crossman, aye.
Goodman, aye.
Spady, aye.
Vecchio, aye.
So Jennifer,
Jennifer.
that sounds backwards, but that's the answer you want. That's the approval.
Good luck with your project.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thanks. Have a good night.
You too.
Before we move on, did Colin join us?
He did. I'm promoting
Okay.
him now.
So let's go back, and I'll recall 79 Columbus Ave, which is again a request for determination of applicability to install benches and wood chips at Clifford Grant Trails.
Says decline to be promoted. So Colin, for you to be able to talk, you would need to accept that. So I'm going to try one more time, okay? So I've promoted about 3 times and it's declined 3 times.
Okay.
So I don't know if you're having an issue with your computer, but I'm going to try again. You do need to say yes so you can speak. Automatically says declined.
Colin, if you'd like to communicate something to us too, or if you're having a tech issue, you can use the chat function. We'll be able to see what you type.
You might have to use Q&A. I don't actually see chat on here.
My mistake.
Does he need to present it? Can we look at it without him presenting?
He should do his presentation. That's part of his Eagle Scout requirements too.
Oh, and,
But I'm going to suggest, Colin, if you want to communicate with us using the Q&A, please do so. And I will call 79 Columbus, your project, again after we move through continued hearings and possible deliberations before we move on to the final segments of the agenda. Even if you wanted to request a continuance, if you want more time to put together a presentation, we can make that work. But just let us know. So I'm going to move on to continued hearings and possible deliberations. 95 Union Street to be located off of Winterberry Lane, which is a notice of intent for the installation of utilities, driveways, stormwater for 4 lots, and improvements, surface turnarounds within a rain garden, and new shared stormwater infiltration system and removal of gravel from the stream.
Yes. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, everybody, members of the board. Jennifer, how are you?
Good evening. How's it going?
Cannot complain. A little cold, but it's okay. So I'll jump right into it. For the record, Eric Dias, registered professional engineer, Strong Point Engineering, representing Garcon Corp. For 95 Union, which is, we refer to it as Winterberry Lane because that's where the frontage is. And as you mentioned, we are before you for 2 different notices of intent tonight. The first one, and just to recap very briefly, is for the work that you will see coming up on the screen right now. These are the 4 lots that are proposed off of Winterberry. This notice of intent includes the work required to install the common stormwater facilities and utilities across the frontage, and this infiltration basin here, which is the main infiltration basin for these 4 lots. It also includes a small turnaround over the existing median / rain garden in Winterberry. And as we mentioned before, most of the buffer zone impacts for this work are from the BBW located on the opposite side of Winterberry. And aside from that, there's about 1,200 and I think it's 1,255 square feet of disturbance proposed in the outer buffer zone of the BBW on the, we'll say that's the south side of the property. The last time that we were here, we had submitted the fee a bit late, and I don't think Jennifer had an opportunity to do her site investigation or do her staff report, so we continued to get that done. And I will defer to her for comments on those. But the other thing that we did commit to doing the last time we were here was we neglected to put conservation markers at the limited clear on the lots. So we did go back through and we added all of those to the plans. We added some clarification, impervious areas to the plan just to make sure it's documented as far as the, the intended impervious area on each lot. And I think we've satisfied what was asked of us. So I will turn it over to you, Mr. Chairman, and go from there.
Thank you, Eric. Could you just walk me through the turnaround on this plan?
Sure, yeah. Let me zoom in a little bit on that in particular.
Eric, is this the most recent plan?
This is from the subdivision plan, and it's the most recent from the subdivision plan. The septic plan's a lot specific, and those have been updated with all of the information that we had talked about, the conservation markers and the areas. This one just shows the cut through a little bit better.
Okay, thanks.
It looked like on our list we were looking for on those plans, like setbacks for each lot and surveyor stamps. Is that all set?
Yep, that's on there as well. Yep, and I can pull those up too, and we can go through those.
I'll take your word for it.
But just as far as the cut through is concerned, so you can see here where it says drainage swale / rain garden.
Yep.
It's obviously, this is kind of a boulevard type of road with a landscaped area in the middle. we were actually asked, encouraged by the planning board, but actually asked by the homeowners association board to install a cut through the median. It's 14 feet wide. What we proposed is that this was intended for passenger vehicle size cars only. We will cut it through is one of the first things that we do in the project. And certainly, you know, pickup trucks, things of that size will use it so they don't go all the way around the second phase of Winterberry, but we've limited it to cars of that size only because a larger car, a full-size box truck, can't pull the U-turn without coming up on the sidewalk that's over here.
Okay.
So it was at their request. We did accommodate, but yes, larger vehicles will have to go around the circle on phase 2. And the layout plan for this set of plans does show signage to that effect. No trucks entering here and things like that. And again, that work is all, actually, most of that work, with aside from this little tiny corner, is actually out of the 100-foot buffer zone, which is good, but it is also in currently disturbed areas as well, obviously.
Okay. Oh, I knew there was something else I needed to talk to you about. The violation that we have here.
Yes.
Our thought, or my thought, is this is something we'd like to see done by July. Is that possible?
Absolutely, it is. So, a couple of things. One, we actually proposed a condition that a building permit not be issued for lot 3, which is the affected lot, quote unquote, until that work is done to the satisfaction of the commission or your agent. So that would ensure that it gets done. Obviously, that's a pretty big carrot right there.
Yeah.
But I did meet on site after our last meeting with a contractor who signed up to do the work. In fact, I spoke with him today. What we'd like to do is, when we can, ask Jennifer to meet us at the site just so we can kind of show her exactly what we're planning on doing. And as soon as conditions warrant, we'll get it done.
Okay.
It's not a ton of work that needs to be done to rectify that, honestly. We're half a day, we're in and out of there.
All right, I think that makes sense. Any other, Jen, do you have any staff comment on this?
Yeah, just that the violations are separate from construction and wetland permits. If you're going to have a condition, then violation should be addressed before any work is done on the site for the subdivision. You can condition it that way.
Any other staff comment, Jen?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Any other comments from members of the commission?
I have just a clarifying question. Was the violation supposed to be addressed in July of 25 or July of 26?
25.
25.
It's a little disappointing.
If I may just back up and refresh memory on that for a minute, it was an erosion issue that occurred on a path that had washed out. It was something that was created prior to the current owner's purchase of the property, and he's been in. Yes, it should have been addressed. No excuses. Absolutely. He's been in the permitting process ever since, and it just didn't get taken care of in time. That's all.
What was the path used for?
It was basically a glorified haul road. I don't think anybody ever hauled through it, but it was just really, I think the prior owner kind of used this place as a playground, and I think that's what he was doing back there.
Interesting. All right, thank you.
Any other questions or comments from members of the commission? Seeing none, any public comment here for 95 Union Street to be located off of Winterberry Lane?
Yep. Felicity Kagan.
Ms. Kagan, it looks like you're muted still. And just a reminder, please introduce yourself by name and address.
Yes. Felicity Kagan at 75 Union Street, North Easton. I had approached the member of the Planning and Zoning Board and got the maps of the modification subdivision of Strong Point. And I told you about this area here, right here. I don't know if you can see it. It's the edge of my property. According to Benson, he stripped it off, and that's where the trail goes up to 91 Union Street. However, as I pointed out to you, in each deed going back 74 years to William T. Knapp, my land goes up to the wall and land of Winfield Gray. And as I told you, Winfield Gray, this is lot 2 of 2. Lot 1 was on the north side of Pleasant Street to Sumner Street. Lot 2 was on the south side of Pleasant Street. Continuing down 5 acres to the land of Bertorelli Brothers. And my land goes up to the wall and land of Winfield Gray of Brockton. That's in the town historical. It's in each and every deed going back to 1951. And Strong Point and Kelly Engineering of Benson's company stripped off this land in their drawings, which is illegal. It's an illegal land grab. I told you about this. I've already had contracted with the land surveyors to go in there again and to look this area over. And I believe that this is an illegal land grab because my land, the old French farm, goes up to the Brockton border. This is illegal. One other thing is that if you're going to go in there and dredge, you better notify the EPA because you're going to be violating the United States Supreme Court ruling. You cannot alter continuously flowing surface water. That's interstate. That's the Dorchester Brook that flows into the Mount Hope Bay in Taunton, in Tiverton, Rhode Island. So I don't think you can alter that. And of that total land that was taken for that strip of land on the east side of my property, near the old land of Winfield Gray, 1878, it's about 24,433 feet stolen land. So, and I hope that this property is attached to Winterberry Estates, the Chapter 40R Smart Growth Zoning Overlay, that they have out of 8 units per acre for single-family homes, the 20% should be affordable homes out of the 4 units. So if this property number 3 is going back into the woods some 600 feet from the main road, it would require 2 rights of way for access and egress, and they're not going to get it through my land.
Thank you, Ms. Kagan. Is there anything else you'd like to add for the public record?
That's it. Thank you.
Any other public comment here for 95 Union Street? All right, seeing none. Eric, I assume you'd like to close?
Yes, please.
Motion to close the public hearing for 95 Union Street to be located off of Winterberry. This is the portion of the project for the installation of utilities, driveways, stormwater for 4 lots, and impervious surface turnaround within a rain garden and new shared stormwater infiltration system.
Second.
Carol motion. Was that Crossman second?
Goodman.
Goodman second. Roll call vote. Carol, aye.
Rosman, aye.
Goodman, aye.
Beatty, aye.
Vecchio, aye.
Motion to issue an order of conditions and permit for work for 95 Union Street to be located off of Winterberry Lane.
Crossman, second.
Carol motion, Crossman second. Roll call vote. Carol, aye.
Rosman, aye.
Goodman, aye.
Beatty, aye.
Vecchio, nay.
Moving to our next project, 95 Union Street, Lot 1.
Yes. For the record, still Eric Dias, registered professional engineer, Strong Point Engineering, representing Garcon Corp. This is lot 1, and this is for development of the one lot that does have a portion of the house and the yard in the buffer zone. So just to refresh memory, this is the same layout of this lot that we looked at the last meeting. The house itself, a significant portion of the house, is in the outer buffer zone. The backyard comes up to the 50-foot buffer zone, but there is no encroachment proposed on the 50. There's also the outer buffer of the local vernal pool on this lot, and all work is proposed to stop at that outer buffer line, so there's no encroachment on that either. After the last meeting, we did add the conservation markers to this lot, which was an oversight on my part in the first place. And we again just clarified what the anticipated impervious areas are on the site. So really that was it.
And again, these have been submitted with setbacks and stamps by a surveyor.
Yes, there is a surveyor stamp on this plan right there.
Yep.
And all the setbacks, I don't think we label specific setbacks on this particular plan because everything ends at the 50 or the 100-foot.
Okay. But those are my questions. Jen, do you have any staff comment here for 95 Union Lot 1?
Yeah, the staff report asked for a dimensional arrow at the rear left corner of the house to the limit of work and the top of the retaining wall. Is that on the revised plan, Eric?
I did not receive a staff report on this. I didn't see it online either. There's a chance I missed it, but certainly that's an easy thing to add. I'm glad to add that if we can condition it. I'll get that on them before tomorrow morning.
Okay, and then the trench drain detail and impervious cover, you added the impervious cover.
Yep, the trench drain detail is actually on the subdivision plan set, but I can pull it into this too. I can take care of that, no problem.
You would do that, so I could just reference one plan. That's helpful.
Sure, absolutely, glad to.
Okay.
I apologize, I didn't realize the staff report was up. I actually looked this morning and didn't see anything, so.
No, I'll have to look.
I have had.
I thought I did it before vacation, but it's possible. It's not.
Possible I missed
Sorry.
it, and I've had weird things going on with permit eyes anyway, so.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Any comments or questions from members of the commission?
Negative.
Any comments or questions from members of the public for 95 Union Street, Lot 1? All right, seeing none, Eric, I assume you'd like to
Thank you.
close.
Felicity's hand is up.
Okay.
Hi, Felicity Kagan, 75 Union Street. I have a question about the soil absorption, which is basically a leaching field. What will happen during a storm? Where will that 10% of the household waste flow down to in the event of a storm, tropical storm, hurricane?
Eric, would you please address what happens to the leaching fields and septic systems in the circumstance of a storm or flood?
Absolutely, through the chair. So the septic system leaching field is required to be designed to be a minimum of 4 feet above the estimated seasonal high groundwater table. And that is determined based on test pit explorations that our office did and was overseen by the Board of Health. So there's at least a 4-foot separation between the maximum that the groundwater has achieved over the last 20 or 25 years and the design elevation of the system. So there are no concerns with inundation of the system or anything like that in the event that groundwater is high as the result of just seasonal constraints or as a result of a large storm event or something of that nature.
Well, do you hear me?
We can hear you.
My point is that behind 65 Union Street and in part on my property, there's the Easton Conservation Commission vernal pool, which is filled with spring peepers, bullfrogs, fairy shrimp, etc., etc. Would the soil absorption or the leaching field impact the vernal pool?
So Eric, the question is, would soil absorption impact the health of the vernal pool?
Realizing
No.
8% of it goes out as pollutants. 92% is actually filtrated through the wastewater treatment.
Through the chair, so the leaching field is more than 200 feet away from the limits of that vernal pool. Even when you cite a potable drinking well, the well water, it is only required to be 100 feet away. So we've doubled that distance to the vernal pool, and what happens to the effluent is that the effluent solids are removed, solids and oils are removed in the tanks. Gray water makes it to the leaching field, and it actually relies on the microbes and the biology in the soil to clean it further from there, which is why they require 100 foot to a drinking water source. We've doubled that. So by the time any effluent would get to that location, if it was actually going that way subsurface, it would be cleaned.
The point is that wooded area between the southbound area of my property and 65 Union Street to Lot 1 is filled with vernal pools and wetlands. You walk back there, your feet sink down, and it's got frozen circular areas of ice and water back there. And the water flows directly south, going past the 2 units near the bridge towards lot 1. It's all frozen back there during February, March, April. So that's not far from where you propose to put the soil absorption, the leaching field area of your wastewater.
Through the chairman, the leaching field area is more than 100 feet from the boundary of any wetland resource area, and is more than 200 feet from the edge of the delineated vernal pool. The design meets all of the applicable state and local requirements regarding setbacks to resource areas.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Ms. Kagan. Any other public comment here for 95 Union Street, Lot 1? Seeing none, Eric, I assume you'd like to close.
Yes, please.
Motion to close the public hearing for 95 Union Street, Lot 1.
Vecchio second.
Carol motion, Vecchio second. Roll call vote. Carol, aye.
Rossman, aye.
Goodman, aye.
Beatty, aye.
Vecchio, aye.
Motion to issue an order of conditions and permit for work for 95 Union Street, Lot 1.
Spady, second.
Carol motion, Spadia second. Roll call vote. Carol, aye.
Rossman, aye.
Goodman, aye.
Spady, aye.
Vecchio, aye.
Great. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have
Thank
one
you,
quick
applicant.
question before we
Yes.
move on. On the last one, Phil, you voted no. So when I prepare this, am I still doing your electronic signature for that one? You don't need it because you have enough of a quorum, but technically you're just signing to say it's a vote of the commission, not whether you agree with the decision or not. But I figured I should ask you before we move on.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay, okay to put your,
Yes, it is okay.
okay,
Sorry.
great, thanks.
Okay, great. Well, thank you everyone for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Take care. Up next is 40 Bristol Drive, which has requested a continuance. I am correct about that, right, Jen?
Yes, to January 12th, 26th.
Is it the 12th or the 26th, our next meeting?
January 12th, 26th, but on your agenda,
got it.
25.
So motion to continue 40 Bristol Drive to the January 12, 2026 meeting of the Easton Conservation Commission.
Second.
Carol motion, Goodman second. Roll call vote. Carol, aye.
Rossman, aye.
Goodman, aye.
Spady, aye.
Vecchio, aye.
Up next is Main Street in Quessett Brook. Notice of intent to repair. What did I do, Mike? In the main channel?
Nothing, Chair. Did I just lose you?
No, I'm here.
Okay.
Greg Swan, are you here to present this?
I am here to present this. How is everybody doing tonight?
Doing good.
Hey, Greg.
Good.
Evening.
Greg Swan, Town of Easton, Department of Public Works. I was last here in September to present the repairs to the culvert over on Main Street over Queeset Brook. On October 20th, we had a site walk with Mr. Goodman and Jen Carlino to discuss the project. Very interesting project. Dry laid stone culvert built in the mid-19th century, needs some repairs. Jen then provided us with a staff report, which I hopefully were addressed. I got them to her just before she went on her well-needed vacation, so I don't know how in-depth she got into that. And we're here to talk tonight. So.
Greg, are the plans that the engineer provided with all the different notes all over them going to be the final set of plans?
Yes.
Do you have a set of plans to show us?
Jen, I emailed you those plans before you went on vacation. I can call them up if you need me to.
I've seen them in the binder, so I know that you've submitted something. I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page here.
Yeah, you should pull those up, Greg, if you have them.
Okay. Give me a second here. Jen, can I share my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should be able to.
We added 2 sheets to the project. Sheet 8A was from the engineer discussing comments that Jen had made in the staff report. This will go in as sheet 8A on the project.
Sure, that's the one you added, but all the rest of the sheets in the plan set
Yes.
with the notes all over them.
So all of the plans that you sent to the engineer were addressed, and this is what he came back with.
Okay.
In addition to, we also, Nat Groschettel and myself came up with a proposed thalwood plan, a turbidity curtain as requested, some additional filtration tubes on the south end on the outlet of the stream to reduce erosion in and around the riprap.
Okay, but that's sheet 27 of 28. All the sheets in the beginning, are those the ones you're gonna put out to bid with all the notes all over?
No, so this is the entire memo, the entire this is what's going to go out to bid. Here is, we'll go back to the beginning here. So these are the project plans. This was part of the stormwater memo, the whole notice of intent with the plans attached per the narrative that I had put together. You know, sheet 1, you know, project location, quantities of material. Sheet 2 with notes for construction. Sheet 3, existing conditions detailing what we need to do with the scour plan and what the existing conditions look like. You know, sheet 4, you know, proposed, you know, which side of the culvert we're going to be working on, the east abutment or the west abutment. Again, that's going to be up to the contractor on which side they want to start with. Details for grouting, for the grout bag, for wall repairs. And what you had requested was some additional construction plans, sediment barriers, but you had requested some additional sedimentation issues, some cleanup of some details that were added by an additional sheet 8A. We can't renumber the sheets because this was a Mass DOT project that was paid for. So we can add sheets and we can call them 8A and sheet 1, and they will be part of the construction set. We just can't call them, you know, then we have to go back and get DOT approval, and it's a bit of a process. So we're going to have 8A here addressing your comments.
But some of the plan notes that were requested to be changed.
Yes, are in these
All
two.
came back as yes, but then are they changed here?
These weren't part of the sheet 8A and sheet 8 and the sheet 1 were not part of the original set. They were added on after the fact. And they're being added on here.
I understand that, but there were other plan notes on different sheets that were requested to be changed. So they're not changed on here?
I believe they're superseded on sheet 8A.
Are they going to contradict?
No.
Anything else you want to add here?
No, just that this is, you know, the repair project. And I'm happy to answer any questions that may have come up since the last time we met.
So one thing I'll say is that it being a notice of intent, it is unusual to not have a certified site plan. I do understand the circumstances here, but I think it's just something that we ought to have a conversation about how we move forward with some of these types of things in the future. Where it's a repair project, I think the plans that you have make a lot of sense. But just by way of our own standards and how we move projects through, I think it's something that we ought to discuss.
Understood.
Comments or questions from other members of the commission?
Yep, Ben, I've got some. I'm sorry, I might have missed it, but I remember last time we were talking about how that we needed to have a wetland consultant to get this project into compliance. Was that ever met? Did we ever get a wetland consultant on board with this project?
That is news to me on that comment. Jen had provided comments in the staff report, and we rewrote the report to address those comments.
I just thought I remember us talking about it in our meeting here.
It was discussed during the meeting.
Yeah.
So I assume the answer on that is no. No wetland consultant has been brought onto this project.
No, not at this time.
So question, Chair, can Conservation Agent Carlino fill the role of that
No.
wetland? I'm just thinking of costs for the town, given the fiscal situation the town's in. And do we,
I can't propose something and then turn around and review it and say it's appropriately done. That would be a conflict of interest.
understood?
Yeah, and Greg, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's my understanding that this isn't the only one of these that we're going to be seeing in the next year.
Not within the next year. We're actually going around for a funding phase for another set of culverts. This is the only one you're going to see for the next 2 to 3 years. Currently,
Okay.
the rate that these things take to get designed and repaired, the town doesn't have funds to just in our capital or our operating budget just to go out and repair these and build these up. This was funded through a municipal small grant from the state. We're trying to do this to minimize cost to the town.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a sticking point right now. The next time this comes through, the next culvert that we're looking at is on Center Street. But we're just putting in for design funds now. So if we follow the same timeline as this particular project, we're 2 or 3 years away from even considering construction, permitting, anything like that.
Okay.
So Greg, I'd really encourage you to include wetland consultant in with your
I am
request.
absolutely learned my lesson on this particular project, and I will definitely be getting more. For this type of project was a repair project. If we're going to do a complete replacement of a culvert, which is what we're going to be doing, it's a whole different It's a whole different operation, because now we have to meet stream costing standards. We have to go through Army Corps. There's a whole level of permitting effort that has to go into that. That is far beyond the capacity of my office. So
Sure.
absolutely, we will be bringing in consultants.
In a project like this, you have to be able to, discuss the performance standards for each resource area and adequately address those. So we're trying to help you move through the process, but you really do need a wetland consultant to help you.
Okay.
Through that.
Did you reread what the based on your comments? And
Yes, I did, but it did not specifically address each of the performance standards. It just has a sort of a blanket statement without going into any detail about how those are actually met. You are in multiple wetland resource areas, including the regulatory floodway. It's not just a floodplain, it's a floodway. There's just more technical review and expertise that's needed. Just in the future, please keep that in mind. And
absolutely, I completely understand.
As part of your, part of the capital, it's part of the design. So if you could keep that in the future, please.
No, that's, again, as I said, we're going to be doing, I don't believe we'll be doing repairs in the future. I believe we'll be doing full-scale replacement of structures. This is just a Band-Aid for this particular culvert. If you're still on the commission in 15 or 20 years, I'm sure this will be back. Not only will we be replacing the culvert, but the dam will have to be addressed. That'll be a very sticky project coming down the line.
Any work in a resource area, right? It's not a buffer zone project, so just keep that in mind, please.
I understand.
Thank you, Greg. Any other questions or comments from members of the commission? Seeing none, any questions or comments from members of the public for Main Street and Queesit Brook?
Greg, maybe just mention your file number from DEP you got today.
Yeah. Okay. Stop scrolling that.
1860.
Oh, yes, SE 1860. I didn't know if you saw that email. Yes, SE 152-1860
Thank
was
you.
given today.
Okay. Motion to close the public hearing.
Crossman second.
Carol motion, Crossman second. Roll call vote. Carol, I.
Crossman, aye.
Goodman, aye.
Spady, aye.
Vecchio, aye.
Motion to issue an order of conditions and permit for work.
Second.
Carol motion, Goodman second. Roll call vote. Carol, I.
Crossman, aye.
Goodman, aye.
Spady, aye.
Vecchio, nay.
Very much.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you.
So, as promised, let's just call 79 Columbus Ave again before we move on. So we're going back to hearings and possible deliberations. 79 Columbus Ave, which is a request for determination of applicability to install benches and wood chips at the Clifford Grant Trails.
Actually, I don't see the scout or the leader in the waiting room anymore.
Okay.
So I guess continue to the next meeting and.
So I'll make a motion then. Motion to continue 79 Columbus Ave to the
112.
Thank you. January 12th, 2026 meeting of the Easton Conservation Commission.
Vecchio, second.
Carol motion, Vecchio second. Roll call vote. Carol, I.
Crossman, aye.
Goodman, aye.
Spady, aye.
Vecchio, aye.
So next up is requests for amendments, beginning with 10 Thayer Lane Lot 1, which is the subdivision off of 154 Elm Street, which is a request for amendment requesting to change the amount of impervious cover for permitting.
Good evening.
Hey, Claire.
Hi. For the record, Claire Hogeboom, wetland scientist with LEC Environmental Consultants, here on behalf of the applicant. The Conservation Commission issued an order of conditions March 24th of this year, approving a 4-lot residential subdivision, Thayer Estates. It's located at 2 formal parcels, or former parcels, just to the east of Town Hall on Elm Street. Since then, they have been subdivided into the 4 lots that were a part of that order of conditions. And since that occurred, the 4 lots now have homes being proposed with some of which have increased impervious area in comparison to what was previously identified on the plans, the plan of record for the order of conditions. So we're just here requesting an amended order to accurately depict those areas. And I'm just going to share my screen that has both the existing, or I'm sorry, the original and the current revised plan. Can you see where there's sort of 2 plan sets on each side of the screen?
Yes.
Okay. So on the left here, we have lot 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is the originally approved layout with the subdivision road coming off of Elm Street. So we're sort of shifted around where heading plan right is north. As you see on the plan to the right, this is what is currently proposed for the amended order. I outlined in blue all of the changes in impervious. So on lots 1 and 3, we have an increase of impervious area. Lot 1 has about 827 square feet of increased impervious. Lot 3 has about 177, and that's due in part because they're proposing a pervious driveway to offset that increase of impervious with the roof. because we have the increase of impervious at these two lots, the applicant proposed subsurface Coltic units for each of those homes to account for the additional impervious and provide additional recharge. That's in accordance with special condition 46 in the order of conditions. And as you see, we have just slightly adjusted septic layouts for each lot as well. Lots 2 and 4 do not have an increase in impervious. Lot 2 is actually decreasing by about 400 square feet. Lot 4 is just a wash with zero net increase or decrease of impervious. But we just wanted to provide a plan for the commission to review in association with this amended order, just so, you know, all the cards are on the table here. You have the latest and greatest. With that in mind, I just want to point out all of this work is outside of the resource areas and buffer zone. I have the 100-foot buffer zone highlighted in pink, and the 200-foot riverfront area off the intermittent stream is highlighted here in orange. So none of the changes will impact any resource areas or buffer zones. And with that, I'm happy to take any questions.
All right, so to clarify this, lot 1 and lot 3 are increasing in total amount of impervious, and that's being offset by a Coltex unit, which will infiltrate the difference between the difference accounting for the increase in impervious surface.
That's correct.
Okay. What confuses me here, and has in past subdivisions, so it's not unique, is this amendment affects individual lots. And I want to make sure that this is your understanding as well, but we'll go with the existing notice of intent that is recorded for the stormwater system and for the subdivision itself.
That would be my understanding. Jennifer, is that sort of aligned with how you would typically handle this, considering that the lots have been changed since the original order was issued?
Correct. It would be the change to the condition that lists the impervious surface for the lots. And then we may have to make an adjustment on the operation and maintenance plan and just make some sort of a note that individual lot owners are also responsible for the operation and maintenance plan. Your letter says that it was uploaded to Permit Eyes. I'm sorry, I totally missed that. Does lot 3 also include how to maintain a pervious driveway?
I don't think I have the answer to the impervious or the pervious driveway, but that's certainly something we can review and ensure that that's included with the operation and maintenance plan for the Coltic units on sheet 2 of that plan.
Okay, because I understand the pervious driveway would need a vacuum truck to take care of that.
Right.
Okay, we just want to make sure that is in the operation and maintenance plan for that lot.
Okay, we can certainly upload a revised lot 3 plan with those notes on sheet 2.
And the practical consideration I think that we have is we've seen this happen where multiple builders come in, they have different clients, each building a different lot, and folks either aren't aware or don't know that there are certain requirements in the lot, and things don't get done. They come back for additional amendments, and it creates sort of an engineering problem for the entire neighborhood as opposed to just the one person who's trying to build the house. So I ask this more or less just out of transparency and making sure that you're alert to it.
Understood.
Any other questions or comments from members of the commission?
No.
Jennifer, did you have any additional staff comment?
I don't. Thank you.
Okay.
Just stop share.
Is there any public comment here? And it seems as though we've kind of taken testimony for lot 1 and lot 3 at the same time. Is there any public comment here for either lot 1 or lot 3 for 10 Thayer Lane, which is 154 Elm Street?
No hands are raised.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, there's one. Being promoted.
My name's Hugh McLaughlin. I'm at 19 Whitman's Brook Drive. I just wanted to confirm that with the changes to the surface, that any runoff water would heading towards Spring Hill is accounted for within the plans that have been proposed and the changes that have been proposed.
Claire, could you address that question?
Yes, I can. I would say yes, that is confirmed because the subsurface cultic chambers at each individual home have been designed to account for that additional runoff from the increase in impervious. And in fact, both of those lots have cultic chambers that are going a bit above and beyond from the proposed impervious. For example, at lot 3 at the top of the hill, with an increase of 177 square feet of impervious, the cultic chambers will recharge 392 square feet of roof runoff. So there's even more storage being provided through these subsurface cultic chambers.
Okay, thank you very much. And then the second question that I have, with the changes, there's, and I think you stated this, that there's no change to the buffer zone, any of the land that has been cleared and cut so far. There's no additional changes to trees being taken out or anything like that. Is that correct?
That is correct. The original limit of work remains. That is not changing.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, any additional questions or comments from members of the commission? Seeing none, motion to close the public hearing for 10 Thayer Lane Lot 1 and 10 Thayer Lane Lot 3.
Second.
Carol motion, Goodman second, roll call vote, Carol I.
Rossman, aye.
Goodman, aye.
Beatty, aye.
Vecchio, aye.
Motion to issue an amended order of conditions for 10 Thayer Lane Lot 1 and Lot 3.
Vecchio, second.
Carol motion, Vecchio second, roll call vote, Carol I.
Rossman, aye.
Goodman, aye.
Beatty, aye.
Vecchio, aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Have a great evening.
You
You
too.
as well.
Thank you.
Moving on to certificates of compliance. First up is 9 Alderwood Drive.
Yes. The last meeting, I mentioned that I thought they were supposed to have restoration plantings in. That was a mistake. They actually were not required to do that, and so this project is ready for a full COC.
Motion to issue a certificate of compliance for 9 Alderwood Drive.
Second.
Carol motion, Goodman second, roll call vote, Carol I.
Rossman, aye.
Goodman, aye.
Beatty, aye.
Vecchio, aye.
So up next is 244 Prospect Street, which involves both a recension and a new request for COC.
Yeah. That was another confusing one. Multiple permits for the same piece of property. The one I suggested that we could issue was actually the wrong file. So we need to rescind the motion to issue the full COC for 152 1681 E 16474. You can just say so moved.
So moved.
Vecchio, second.
Carol motion, Vecchio second, roll call vote, Carol I.
Rossman, aye.
Goodman, aye.
Beatty, aye.
Vecchio, aye.
And we should have issued the certificate of compliance for 152 1785 E number 1821.
So moved.
Vecchio, second.
Crossman motion, Vecchio second, roll call vote, Carol I.
Rossman, aye.
Goodman, aye.
Beatty, aye.
Vecchio, aye.
Thank you. It gets a little crazy in the office without staff help anymore. So sorry about that. Those were both
No.
my mistakes.
No harm, no foul. We got it done.
Yeah, they're corrected now. 56 Main Street, they requested a duplicate certificate of compliance. So years ago, they already received a certificate, but no one recorded it. So they need an original signature. We just need to do a duplicate so they can record.
Okay, so it's just a new motion, even though we've already issued it?
Correct.
All right, so motion to issue a certificate of compliance for 56 Main Street.
Second.
Carol motion, Goodman second, roll call vote, Carol, aye.
Rossman, aye.
Goodman, aye.
Beatty, aye.
Vecchio, aye.
Hey, thanks.
Moving on to enforcement.
These will be kind of quick. So
Yeah.
370 Bay Road, we got a call that someone was clearing in the wetland and the floodplain. I did meet with the property owners. It was right before I went on vacation, so I do need to send them their violation letter, but they have been cooperative. 8R Pequannocket is something that we noticed with the violation that's right next to it is 561 Foundry, but I didn't have time to write the letter to those people, so they're not aware of it just yet. So just to bring it to your attention. 561 Foundry does have an enforcement order, but they have contracted with an engineer and a wetland consultant. I'm told they do have a restoration plan, but they need a little bit more time to pull everything together and would like to be on the January 12th meeting. So they just need a little extra time. And Flyaway Pond, the asphalt grindings have been removed, and wood chips have been planted in its, or installed in its place. And so that can be closed.
Do we need a motion to close that?
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
The next one's 95 Union. We talked about this evening, and so that will be conditioned in the order of conditions. You have two that are still remaining unresponsive, 230 Main Street and 718 Turnpike.
230 Main Street, looks like a letter was sent, 11/19/25.
Correct. Some of these we've been corresponding by email. When I didn't receive an email response, I printed it and put it in the mail. So there's two forms of communication for both of those projects. They are both enforcement orders already. So you'll need to decide what you'd like to do with those two.
Members of the commission, what do we think?
What's the next step from letter slash, well, email slash emailed, mailed email? Sorry.
We can start finding them. We can ask town council to write them a letter. That's really where we're at. We can send them another letter.
Yeah, town council letter sounds foreboding.
We've done it before. It's helped.
Yeah, the problem
really?
with the town council letter is it makes us spend money to do something.
That's true.
Which I'm not opposed to, but we've made a real good faith effort to get in touch with these folks and advance it.
So just send them a, can't we
Send
just
them a
send
fine.
fine letter?
We can start finding them. That is always harsh.
Yeah, but we've done that in the past, and it's
We
got the wheels turning.
There's a little spice, you know?
It's an attention getter.
Yeah,
When you hear,
Right.
when you
I'll
take a
just
look at,
mention, that both of them, they have been started, right? They've done the restoration. What we're looking for is, hey, give us the final monitoring letter. Just do the last part of it.
that's different.
That's different. But it's also been over a year that we've been asking for both of them.
Right. I feel like given the
Just close
timeline.
it out. Just close it out.
Yeah.
I have to do
Given-
the final inspection. Just send me the report from the wetland consultant that says, yes, this is finally done.
Is there a way for us to
are.
reach out to the wetland consultant, or do we not know which one it is?
One of them, it's changed. And it's not necessarily the wetland consultant's responsibility.
Yeah.
Right? The relationship between the client and the wetland consultant. It's the responsibility goes with the property owner.
Right. I feel like given the time frame and timeline that we've all done everything that we've done, I think it's time to issue the fine. And then if they can send that to us, then I think we can talk about rescinding the fine. But I think it's time to move forward with that.
Yeah, agree. They've had a year.
Agree with Phil, 100%. Send the fine back to the date of the original violation. So when you're facing 300 days at 300 a day, well, that'll get your attention.
For my attention.
Phil, is that what you proposed?
Sure. I mean, that's what we did it in the past. And the next after that is deed restriction or other foolishness with the registry of deeds. So okay.
We wouldn't be able to record anything at the registry of deeds, but town council would have to move it to a more of a court thing. It might be an injunction at that point, if I follow that correctly. I haven't really gotten to that point before, except for one other project in Norton in nearly 30 years. So I would need town council's advice on what the next part would be if the fines don't work.
So if you go out there though to issue fines and they're now in compliance because they've done what they were supposed to do, can you still issue the fine?
Yeah, because what they were supposed to do is still to send 2 years worth of monitoring reports.
There you go. Okay.
To not ignore the request.
Yeah.
You're just about done. It's just that last.
So I say we start issuing fines, but Mike, respectfully, I don't want to issue them from a year ago to forward. I'd like to start issuing them, I don't know, Monday of next week.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm just gonna say Monday of next week is December 22nd.
Yeah, it's not the best timing.
I mean, you don't want to put it off, but I mean, you can't help what time of year it is, but just to avoid the Conservation Commission as a Grinch.
Yeah.
Fine.
Is that the word going around town? Word the Grinch?
No. But let's not get there. You could say, okay, tonight's the meeting. This is when it was due. Do the fine today, and then see what happens. Then at least it's happening now. It's not. I mean, I get that really shouldn't play a role in it, but
no, that's fair.
Right before Christmas is not a great.
Yeah, we gotta keep our reputation up as the fun commission. So
don't fool yourself. We're not popular.
Yeah. Well, we don't need to be any less popular, but so what I would need from you guys is the fine just as today, if you agree with that. What is the amount, and then what's the follow-up? Do I also put something in there that says, hey, we're gonna do it every Monday, or we're gonna do it every day? Here's your first attempt. We're gonna do it every week. If we don't I just need some parameters for
give them
what you want me to do.
I propose, and I'm open to other proposals, we give them a $300 fine and tell them we would like to hear from you between now and the 12th with a plan to get back on track to give us your monitoring reports so we can close this out. If we do not, we're going to begin fining you on a weekly basis for this.
That seems fair.
I think, especially considering the fact that I believe on both these projects the work has been done and it's a matter of closing out some paperwork.
Correct.
I don't want to go and find them as though there's an open conservation issue. There is, but as though there's a ongoing problem in the ecosystem created by them.
Correct. We also have the caveat of if again, hopefully the cooperation and the paperwork gets filed done. We always have the caveat of diminishing or dismissing the fine in and of itself.
Yes.
Which I know in the past that had done the trick. The stick and the carrot had worked, and everybody walked away, and everybody got what they needed to get out of it.
I mean, the goal is to just get that final report, right?
Right.
And to close it out. The goal isn't to
No, nobody wants to browbeat or beat anybody down
It has been a year.
Close it out.
Okay. Thank you. Got that. 409, 413, 425 Turnpike Street. They did submit the notice of intent today.
Great.
I've not had a chance to go through it, but I understand that they're supposed to be addressing the violation in that notice of intent. So I'm hoping it's in the wetland permit. If it's not, it'll be part of the staff report, and we should at least be hearing something about it on the 12th.
Okay. So moving on to board discussions.
Mr. Chair, could we stay with enforcement for a second, please?
Sure.
So on 8R, this is the second one of this nature where the person, where it's on our agenda, but the person hasn't been given a communication yet. Can we just make a board policy that I don't want to see this without somebody being communicated. I would want my name on an agenda of a board that has enforcement power or under a heading of enforcement if I haven't been informed. I find that to be in bad form, I guess. So I guess could we make that some sort of just informal policy, not put it on an agenda until the people have been legally informed or informed.
Do other people feel the same way? I think in some ways there's some utility to it, right? Because these issues come before us. We put them on the agenda to address them and deal with them. Sometimes that's before contact with the homeowner. Sometimes it isn't. But I think I understand what Commissioner Goodman's saying around if it were his house, he'd like the opportunity to be present if it was going to be listed on a public meeting. I think technically also the posting of our agenda is public notice. Whether or not somebody goes and looks at each agenda for every board or commission in town or not is sort of beside the point. I think it's technically public notice. But how does the group feel about this?
I'm fine with it.
Fine with which one?
I'm fine with it if it's got to be posted before we inform someone. I feel like that's, like you said. I think it's fine.
I feel like I'm not against what Mr. Goodman is saying. I agree that it would be nice to get like an official letter notice, like, hey, we're going to talk about your property. But again, to Ben, what he mentioned, this is a publicly posted agenda meeting. I know he can't quite be fair, but it's a tough one to say. It would be nice, but that would just be, if I'm not mistaken, more work on Jen's plate when we don't really have a whole lot of staff.
Yeah, I wouldn't want it to get in the way of, I guess, just matriculating the meetings with the enforcement. So, but it would.
I hear you though. The vast majority of the time they do know about it ahead of time, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't want to belabor the point or beat it up and down. We got other stuff to move on to, and there's no extra work. At some point, Jen is going to speak to the homeowner or property owner. So
that's fair.
Right. So all I'm saying is, hey, I just don't want. I just don't like it. So that's all.
Yeah, I understand your comment, Mike. I'll certainly make effort to make sure it's done before it's on the agenda. Occasionally it's going to happen where it's not, but I do appreciate the comment.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Anybody have a chance to review the meeting minutes and want to make a motion?
I found the meeting minutes. Oh, sorry. Go ahead,
Michael. Take it.
I have reviewed the meeting minutes of 11/17/2025 and found them to be in order and accurate.
Carol second. Goodman motion. Carol second. Roll call vote. Carol aye.
Rossman aye.
Goodman aye.
Beatty aye.
Vecchio aye.
Up next is the 2026 draft meeting schedule. Everybody take a look at that.
Yes.
Yes.
We good?
Be good.
Okay, you don't need a motion or anything. We just want to make sure everybody was good with it.
Everything works for me.
Yeah.
So 456 Depot Street, potential donation.
I've been talking with the bank, well, with the attorney. And since I haven't done the site inspection yet, because I was on vacation, we can continue this to the next meeting, but I did include in your packet some additional mapping that shows that the parcel is part of a larger complex that includes lots of conservation property around it. It would provide access from Depot Street. And then I remembered, oh, we have this whole evaluation criteria, so I'll include that in your next agenda just so you can look at it. But it does rank as a high priority when we follow through the criteria. But we can postpone that until the next meeting. The bank and the attorney were going to take a look at. We talked about cutting that parcel back off that had the grass and the pool on it, maybe offering it to the people who live next door so we wouldn't have to deal with that. So there's a little bit of fluctuation there and some more discussion that's going to be happening. So we don't need to do anything with that tonight.
Right. Thank you, Jen.
Yeah, thank you.
Phil, any CPC updates?
No CPC updates. We had our meeting for December postponed, so I won't have any updates until the new year. It will be after our meeting in January, so
we'll bother you in February.
Sounds like a plan.
Environmental planner updates.
Yes, I have a couple. So the pond invasive plant grant that was approved through CPC and the town meeting in the fall. I do have an estimate from Water and Wetland. We just need to confirm a couple things. So first is that we're looking at design and permitting for new pond only, not including old pond, because that's an ongoing discussion with Office of Dam Safety in the town and whether or not we'll be removing that dam. And so there's no point spending money in trying to permit that until we know if the dam is coming out or if it's going to be repaired. So just new pond for permitting, and the design is all the evaluation of which types of treatments are available and the costs and things like that. So that's the first one. So if that makes sense to people, then I'll make sure they know about that. And I'm seeing lots of nodding.
I agree.
So we'll say that's good. The second thing we've already talked about, it's not doing Long Pond because basically Stoughton takes care of that area, but adding Shovel Shop Pond. Just want to make sure we're good at that.
Yes.
Everybody's nodding. Okay. And so the estimate for what we just talked about is $14,150. The CPC grant is for $13,000. And so we have a difference of $1,150. We can use the Concom Trust. We do have a revolving account where we have enough money in there to cover that difference. So before I get that final contract from the company, just want to make sure you guys are good with spending money out of that account to make up the difference.
I'm good with it.
Okay. Good. The second one is Tufts Farm. We're looking at restoring the first floor of the farmhouse. We know that it's not going to go before CPC for this year, which means any repairs would be 2 years away. We do have a settlement that we can use a portion of that money or all of that money just to repair the first floor of the farmhouse so that our tenant can use that property. That'll also increase the rent so that we'll have more money coming into the property so we can continue to make all the repairs that are necessary. Thanks to Phil for suggesting an architect for us to look at. We met with them, met with our tenant at the property. We have an estimate for the architectural plans of $14,500. Remaining in an older CPC account that's specifically for design work is $8,273.23. And so that leaves a balance of $6,226.77. We can use funding that is within the Tufts fund, the Tufts revolving fund. So I just want to make sure that you guys are good with that. There were a few items that I put into the Tufts revolving fund that I've sort of kept over the years as earmarked. Since we're not doing those, this would be inserted into that spot, so we're not really draining what we thought we had in the account. So if that's okay with people, then we'll sign that contract so we can at least get some plans together and start making the repairs to the historic farmhouse.
I think that makes sense.
Okay, and we're going to try to make it ready so that when we do move to the second floor, you know, electric, plumbing, everything is ready to go and we don't have to redo any other work. Okay, so folks are good with that.
Yeah, thanks, Jen.
Okay, the last, well, it's not, more or less the last one. Permit Eyes, the online permitting system. I had asked them for an estimate to basically front load all the old permits that we have so that I can scan in the documents and have everything online in both our shared drive and on Permit Eyes. Then we don't need to have an entire basement full of file cabinets with paper. Yeah, it's a massive project and will take years, but you know, we have an Excel sheet that, you know, they're going to take that information and just upload that for me. If we had to do it another way, I would have to open a new permit for each one of those old files, fill out all the required things, and I definitely don't have time for that. So the estimate to do that is $1,200, which I think is fine. You can use protection fund for that. I think that's money well spent. Eventually we'll have all of our permits online and anybody can look it up at any time. So it makes it more accessible. So if you guys are good with using wetland protection funds for that purpose. Okay. I figured as much, but it's your money, not mine. So make sure you're okay with it before I make a big spend. So any pertinent item that wasn't
I don't have anything. Anybody else?
anticipated, I do. We've had a call from a management company and one or two residents saying that they're concerned with beavers at Settlers Pond off of Welch Way.
Hey, you're gonna love this.
We own Settlers Pond, and I think it's landlocked, so I'm not sure how we get in there. But when we had we still have a beaver working at Sam Wright Field. We hired Beaver Solutions to come in, and they made that diversion fencing. If
what they call it? Didn't have a name.
Beaver
Deceiver.
Beaver Deceiver.
It's not actually a beaver deceiver. It's just a diversion fence. But I would like to call them and say, hey, can you come out and take a look at it? I still have to go to the site. I mean, I'm just getting all of this today. So I'll go there. If it's necessary, then we'll ask Beaver Solutions to come in. Because of the time of year, it might require fisheries and wildlife permits, because after, I think it's October 1st, maybe, you know, the beaver have pretty much made their home and they're getting all their food ready for winter, and you might not be able to move them, but let's figure it out first. And so that would come out of the Concom, our revolving fund for conservation projects, the Concom Trust Fund, just so you're aware. Last time, wasn't it like under $2,000? It wasn't a lot of money for them.
I remember it being a lot cheaper than I thought it would be.
They do.
And I also remember them doing a really good job.
Yes. Yep. And it still looks great at Sam Wright Field. So the beaver can stay on conservation property where they should be, but they won't be affecting, you know, potential septic systems and things like that. So just before I called them and spent money like that, just making sure you guys are good with that.
Yeah, and I think it sounded like you were in communication enough with some residents over there that you can figure out access.
Yeah, I have no doubt they'll say, yes, please do. Please go. And then the last question is just, was anyone able to go to the budget forum? In the last agenda, I posted 2 of the meetings just in case people could go. Okay, no, it's no worries. It was just a curiosity thing if anybody went. And that's it for me.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Carol motion, Crossman second, roll call vote. Carol, I.
Crossman, aye.
Goodman, aye.
Beatty, aye.
Vecchio, aye.
Hey, thanks everyone. Happy holidays,
all.
and we'll
Happy
see you
holidays.
in February.
Well,
Have
good.
good deceivers out. Happy holidays.
Thanks all. Happy holidays. Take care.
Good night.